Hello, everybody. Oh, now we are live on air. It is time. Okay, so I welcome every one of us to this wonderful broadcast. It is going to be it's going to be um a very wonderful one. Yeah. So like we all know what we are here for. We are here on the sexuality talk, and I'm going to be having my guests, Elmrad. She's known as Oyeyemi Damilola. She's a blogger and a relationship expert, and she has lots of experience to share with us as we proceed. But along the line, I'm going to be waiting on one or two of us to come on and join on because we're about to go on a wonderful experience. We're about to go on a wonderful experience. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, this is the sexuality talk. The sexuality talk. Let's. Okay, so while people should join in and let's have this time together. All right. Oh, welcome every one of us. Well, welcome to this particular live stream. We're going to be talking about the sexuality talk. But I want to first of all get our feedbacks. I want to know if you can hear me properly. So before we proceed, Emrad, Emrad, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hope you can hear me
All right.
too.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. All right. So,
Okay. Hope the network is
yeah, I think your network is okay. So,
okay.
I'll be bringing you up after a while. But what I'm trying to do right now is just
Okay.
to make sure our people join on live and they will come on and continue with the program with me. So I'll be anchoring the program, taking on them on, and the discussion will go on. Then when the time comes, we'll bring you all online. Are you prepared?
Okay. Yeah, I
Okay.
am.
Okay. So there's a song going on in the background. Can you guess what song it is? Can you
No.
hear the song? Okay. 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 All
No,
right
no.
then. I just want to know if the song has an effect to it then. No problem. Thank you very much. So, um, I'm still waiting, but we can't wait all day. So we just proceed, and along the line, other people would come on and join us. They would be able to know what we're talking about. But at the moment, I will just put a little song on the background, at the background, so we can go with that. I think I'm going for Simi, the Duduke song, a little. Then when our people come on, then we can proceed further. I see you're smiling. You like that?
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. So the sexuality talk. Have you noticed that most times people tend to shy away from this matter of discussion, and even though they shy away from the matter of discussion, the effect is still very much on them, and they deny the effects, they deny the topic, they deny the effects, yet it is still rampant in our community and it is causing a lot of damages. What do you think could actually be the cause reason for that? Why do you think people get
Ah,
shy to talk about this issue, this same issue that is causing us a lot of havoc in the community?
what I think causes this is because one, because of culture. No, you cannot come out and discuss this. And when it comes to religions, we Africans, sorry to say, we like we are too religious. So we think it is bad to discuss about this kind of a topic. And that's what is causing the problem in our society today. It's really causing a lot of damages. So I wish
Yeah.
people can just come out and listen to this topic so they can learn one
Okay.
or two things from this.
Yeah, thank you very much. So,
Welcome,
we
Joshua.
welcome every one of you. We'll be bringing up Emerald anytime soon, but at the moment, we are going to be going on this ride together. Let's go. Yo. So, first and foremost, when we are talking about the sexuality talk, we are talking about we are not. Many people have been asking so much questions. The moment the topic came up, a lot of questions have been popping up. They've been asking, um, does it mean you're trying to talk about sexual preferences? They were not using the language anyway. They were talking about are you trying to talk about gayism and all those kind of stuff? Because most times when people hear the word sexuality, they tend to shift their mind towards the sexual preferences. But sexuality in itself, it's a it's a it's a big word that deals a compound word that deals with a lot of things. It deals with ourselves, understanding ourselves, what we are, a sexual as our sexual behaviors, and it also tells about our environment, what our environment has embedded in us about our sexuality, and that's what we are here to treat
Our
today. So we're not
sexuality.
talking about sexual preferences. That's a disclaimer. We're not talking
At
about
all, at all.
we're not talking about sexual preferences, not at all. In fact, yeah, in the African tradition, we all know that sexual preferences, as per the ones that is contrary to the scriptures, is prohibited. So we're not even going on that line at all. And also, other people are also talking about, oh, are we going to be talking about, many people have a lot of things to say about sexuality, but whatever you have to say about sexuality, be here to learn one or two also, because we are not just an island of knowledge. We learn from every one of us, we learn from each other, and the knowledge we accumulate over time tends to shaping us into the kind of person we become over time. So I will be your host. My name is Joshua Eitayo Matiluko. I am the one and only person with the kind of courage in your community to speak about this kind of issue that has been affecting our community. Then I have somebody who is very, very much of a backbone on this kind of issue, on this matter. Anyway, she's engaged. So don't look at her so much. She's pretty, yes. She's
Engaged.
as far as I can tell. But nonetheless, I have somebody here. She's a blogger. She does well at what she does. Give her the opportunity to speak for 15 minutes. She will talk about relationship and she will make you understand far much better on relationship than you can imagine.
Mm.
And I'm so proud to have you here, Emrad. You've been wonderful. I think first knowing you should be around, it can be beyond 2018, 2019. I think not so long, but it's it's been like forever. So
It is.
I,
It is.
for a person, I can vouch for the kind of person she is. The sexual relationship coach, she has a voice out there. Um, she's an activist also. I must mention that Emerald is an activist. She stand and speak against human rights. She speak for human rights and speak against gender imbalance. You need to see her in action. Whenever she's excited, she's excited when she's speaking about these issues. She addresses them like it is a personal issue, and that's how every one of us should be. So I commend her, I respect her, and It is an opportunity and an honor to have her online here with me. So
Thank you,
today,
Joshua.
yeah. So today you just need to use your seat belt because we're going to be driving you crazy. Okay. So like I said there earlier on, I am Joshua Eitayo Matiluko. What is my business here? Why am I coming up with this kind of topic? We know about Emrad. She's the relationship coach. She's into the human rights activism, and she does a lot of things. She's a blogger. In fact, if you check her blog, Emrad writes. Am I right?
Emirate matters.
Emerald Matters, yeah. If you check our
Yeah.
blog, it is fully about relationship. Even when you check our Facebook profile, But what is my business? It looks like I'm coming from, out of a blue sky. I'm just coming from nowhere, and everybody is surprised. Okay, why is Joshua talking about this? There are many people have always said, okay, Joshua, we've always known you to be, you're kind of very inclusive. Yeah, that's the way people see me anyway. They say I'm inclusive. I am, yeah, although I can be outgoing at times, but many people describe me as this kind of person that does not really, go into stuff, talk much about stuff, and out of the blue is talking about sexuality. Yeah. So every one of us know that in recent time we've been having this kind of challenge. We've been faced with this challenge of um um, rape in our community. I can remember in less than 2 3 days on Twitter, I saw trending cases of about three different rape cases. And one of the one that was most touching was Ewa in Edo State, where she was murdered in the church, and the murderers they went scot free. They disappeared out of the blue. Nobody saw them, and I don't know what the police have done about the case. I don't know how deep they dig into that matter. But yet, personally, I've not heard any news after that. I've also heard about other ladies, other people who are affected on this issue. Okay, so I think what what really makes someone like me to come up to discuss this kind of matter or subject matter is because I realize that every one of us voice matters. Yeah, originally I'm a photographer. I a nation photographer specifically, but I'm into media, doing a lot of stuff. But if my I don't make my voice matter on this kind of subject matter, they there will be a lot of chaos alongside because it will tend to look like normal. The more we keep silent about this, the more people go engage in such kind of acts, which at the end it will almost look like a normal activity in the community. And before we know it, even the coming generation will not be safe anywhere. And that is why we have to discuss about this. So it might look amazing to you, it might look surprising to you, but this is one of the major things we must treat in this our generation if we really want to we want change to occur. This is one of the major things we must discuss. So it is like I said, it is a privilege. It is something wonderful, and I hope our people come up, throw their questions in, and we go on the subject matter. So when we talk about sexuality, let me just say one or two things before I allow you to speak, because I know when you have the floor, you are always up there. So when we talk about sexuality, let's think of it. Sexuality now, if you check out of the dictionary the definition of sexuality, let me give you a proper definition of what I understand by sexuality. It is like a geographical term, you know. When we talk about geography, we're not just talking about Earth. We're talking about Earth and everything that surrounds it, including the solar system, the other planetary bodies and the like. So it is a wide scope of study, and the same thing is with the subject matter we're talking about today. It is a wide scope of study. So don't be deceived. This is not a uh, um, subject matter that we just granulate and talk about and we sweep under the carpet. This is something that has to deal with every one of us. If we do not do it now, it will affect, like I said the other time, to affect our children, to affect our community, to affect every one of us. And nobody is safe until we are all safe. Amen. So I think along the line, let us talk about you first. Let us know you, Emerald. Yeah.
Um, as Joshua said earlier, my name is Oyemi Damilola Demiloluwa. I'm a blogger on relationship. I'm a content creator, and I'm a public speaker. Anywhere you see me, I talk. I love talking a lot. So, and I'm a woman activist. I give voice to the voiceless, and in this journey, I hope God help us to to learn a lot about what sex is, and this topic everybody has been shying away for, so we can go deep into it. Please stay tuned and enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So this is a serious case, and we've heard from Emerald. So let us go as gradual as we could. Let us just discuss one or two things as gradual as we could. In fact, you know, when you go on the street, okay, let me come from this one or two things now. Let me quickly begin to debug some things. Have you ever noticed that it is most times when we talk about the issue of rape in the community, most times it is female that are being affected the most, and they are the one who come out to speak the most. But to be sincere, in the true reality, it is not just one-sided. It's not affecting one side of the gender equation. It is affecting the both. It's affecting both male and the female. So as the male are being affected, so are the female being affected also. And as regularly, they are both affected on this issue. But why is it that most times when we talk about such kind of violation that occurs, those that have the courage to come out to speak are mostly female? Does it really mean that the male do not really care about it, or one way or the other, what must have happened to them? Now, this is a psychological effect. In the long run, when you investigate individuals based on this subject matter, you begin to realize that there is a place of the society. So, at first, let me just even treat a little bit about gender, then before we even go deep into the subject matter. Because when we are talking about this, let's look at it from the gender base. Now, growing up, a male child and a female child, especially in the community where I came from as a Yoruba boy, it is believed that, you know, I can remember growing up, there is always a scenario that happens most times, where they would say the I as a guy, you have sister or a sibling who is a female, and most times you are allowed to go around, play and the likes, and your sibling, which is a female, most times are being forced to stay behind, do some house work and the like. Then, alongside, maybe at school, in other places, there are these boundaries that is being placed on individuals, especially the female gender, that unconsciously, psychologically begins to affect them. It begins to tell them something about themselves, about the way the community view them, the way they are seen. Now, this when they begin to struggle with this kind of psychological view of themselves, they are still struggling in, okay, is it true? Am I a female because is it because I'm a female I can't do this, I can't achieve this, I can't do that? There are so much limitation here and there. People would say, okay, no, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. Now, all this limitation coming together, putting them together, has affected them. And when they are still about to get their identity right, one way or the other, when they check products, You check for this product, you would see a naked female being advertised there. You check that product to see a naked female being advertised there. Then it begin to tell you something about yourself. It's like unconsciously they begin to tell themselves, okay, probably this is what a proper lady should look like. Then a lady begins to view herself most likely like a object of sex. Then you at childhood, you begin to realize again the male child on the other hand, the male child will be will be encouraged to run around to play. You can go there, you can go there, yeah, visit that place, go and visit this person, go and visit that person. No monitoring. Just make sure you're back in this house. But the female child, there'll be a specific time. You must be back in this house by this social time. You are going to that place. Who did you see? So much questions. Then when probably when they may begin to cry, maybe something happened, he's being flogged, he's crying, or something, one or two things just came up, and the main child is crying. They will look at the main child and tell you, oh, why are you crying like a lady? Look at you, you're so soft, you're not strong, and that all those kind of stuff. Psychologically, all these things accumulate and build up in the mind of the male that he must be strong, at all time. He must be rugged at heart. And all those kind of things will begin to shaping the male child to begin to think in one way that, okay, as a male, you don't cry. As a male, you don't cry. As a male, you tend to behave strong. If you're not behaving strong, they will call you a female. And these things, we take it into adulthood unconsciously, and it begins to shaping the way our community becomes. That's why when we talk about the subject of sexuality, you would realize that when okay, sexual abuse, when a male child is being abused sexually, he does not want to talk about it. He wants to take it to himself. Okay, yeah, I'm meant to be strong. I'm meant to take this. I'm meant to. So he takes it to himself. He keeps it to himself. His ego would not allow. But the female, most times, maybe one or two persistence, she comes out, she speaks about it. And that is why we have so much female activists here and there. We have female workshops where female are being orientated, and a lot of things goes on. What is sex? That Now let me just come in that way. Let me eat us right. What is sex? What exactly is sex? If you are being asked that question, what would be your answer? If somebody look up to you and ask you what exactly is sex, what do you think sex is? What would be your answer? See, the true definition of sex that any one of us can give sex in the right manner is that sex is a mutual agreement between two adults. And most especially, these two mutual agreements must be between two adults who are legally married most times. But because of the way kind of economy, not economy, rather, environment we find ourselves and the current situation of the world system, we've realized that, yeah, not just married couples engage in this subject matter. When we talk about sex, two people must agree. And it does not matter if anytime a sexual relationship must happen, it does not matter if they've agreed once before. A previous agreement does not override a new contract. It's not like, okay, she had agreed with me once before, or he had agreed with me once before. So I have the right and the access to him or her at any time. No. Every time this word must come up, anytime the act of sex must come up between, especially like I said, especially between two legally married people, it must be a mutual agreement. Both parties must be in agreement that, okay, I'm ready for this now. I want this right now. This is what I want. And you must be sure about it. So if you have a person who is talking about sex with you or is in the act of it, and the person did not wait for your agreement, then sex moves away from sex to rape. Sex moves away from sex to rape. It's just changed like that because the mutual agreement must be between the two individual, the two party involved. Once there is no agreement within that two people, then it is removed. Scripturally, the Bible says that can two work together except they agree. And this agreement is needed in all ways. So if two cannot work together except they agree, it means two cannot go together, two cannot flock together except they are in that same agreement. There is no, you see, if the word sex happens between two individuals without the mutual agreement of the two parties, then it automatically becomes rape. Automatically becomes rape. It's no longer sex anymore. Now, you must understand that this sex of a thing, it is being glorified. Many people have taken it and glorified it and seen it as an opportunity to what is the word now? To opportunity as an opportunity to override other people. They've used it as an opportunity to, molest other people. It is important that you know that this agreement, once broken, has become a violation. You violated the other person. You've violated the other person. And you don't want to violate any other person because whoever you violate, it is a lot of danger. It becomes a lot of danger. It becomes a legal case. It becomes a case that can be taken to court. And either a male or a female, you can lose all your property. So right now, I will be bringing in the exclusive. I'll be bringing in the beautiful, exclusive Emrad. So we can discuss on this subject matter together. And, as we go on, every one of us would learn. So, Emrad, what would you say is sex? What is sex? Like, can you say something, one or two?
Like you've explained earlier, sex is just, it's like what I will say, sex is beyond a certain something to, it is anything that arouses you sexually, anything you involve into that arouses you sexually. Even if you are watching a porn, that's you're having sex. You've explained it, so I don't just want to parabolate
No, no, no,
and
no.
just beat
Please
around
speak
the
speak
bush.
on that
Let me
because I
just
didn't I didn't speak in that line. You can.
Okay, I said sex is
Yeah,
anything you engage in that
yeah, yeah.
arouses you sexually. If you are watching, automatically you are having a sex. It's not until someone, a male or if you're a female, it's not until a male inserts his or her dick rather into your body before you are having sex. But if you are masturbating, that's sex on its own. Anything you do that makes you aroused sexually, it is sex.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
So no, 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 no. Stay on. So um um uh okay. I'm getting a feedback of myself, so I'm trying to get out the feedback. Can you hear me twice or you're hearing me once?
I can hear you once.
Okay, okay. So
Once.
I have to deal with it with myself. Okay. So now um as we know, what exactly can we say is the concept of sexuality in itself? What is the concept of sexuality
Oh,
itself?
sexuality. Okay, sexuality simply means way people experience and express themselves sexually. Like the way you sit down, the way you talk, your orientation about sex, your preferences about sex. That's what sexuality is.
That's good. That's good. So, in the long run, how do you think how do you think people understand their sexuality? How much do you think people understand their sexuality, especially in our community today in the regular Nigeria environment, how well do you think people understand the word sexuality or their sexuality? Do you think people understand themselves sexually enough?
Not a lot, but some people still understand themselves sexually. Not everybody, but some people still understand themselves. So I can say it is a lot. You understand?
Yeah, yeah. So you can say that some people still understand themselves. So, but now, please, can you just throw a little light on that? Now, when we're talking about understanding your sexuality, what do you think it really means to you personally? Now, what do you think it means? What do you think? How do you think a person can understand his or her own sexuality? Yeah, do you hear me? Do you have me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Joshua.
So, like we already said that people, some people understand their sexuality, and some don't. But I'm asking you now on a personal, more personal level now. How do you think people can
Okay.
understand the concept of their own sexuality? Or what do you think they must do to educate themselves on this line so they can shift themselves away from dangers that comes around it and be able to, help other people who are struggling with one or two things, especially like, you talked about pornography, you talked about
Masturbation.
um, masturbation and the likes.
Masturbation. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Now we have some people who are struggling with these things, who are struggling with pornography, they are struggling with masturbation, they engage in these things and they really want to stop. They need help. But what are the things do you think you suggest that one or two people can do if they are in this kind of situation?
Okay. One. One thing you need to do is give your life to Jesus Christ. Here is
Yeah.
not a religious gathering, but that's one thing you have to do. When
We
you
cannot put the
accept
place of
Christ
God.
into your life, yeah, when
Yeah.
you accept Christ into your life, you have dominion over everything. And
Yeah.
two, have determination. Have
Yeah.
determination. Be determined. Once you are determined, you will not do it. You will not, though you might be struggling, but just have the determination that I'm not doing this. And you just discover that you are overcoming it gradually. Bit by bit, you are getting over it. It's not easy, but just be determined and surrender your life to Jesus Christ. Because he's the author and finisher of everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. So not like over time, before we come for this show, we've gathered some questions. So just in case you are seeing me asking some questions, I'm asking Emrad some questions. Just know that these are some questions we've gathered over time. Some of them through researches and some, you know, questions that were being asked by other people. So, what now? This is the next question. It says, "What was sex meant to be?" I think I said
Um,
something like that also earlier on. Yeah,
yeah, sex is supposed to be mutual. It's supposed to be
yeah,
mutual agreement.
yeah,
That's what it's supposed to be. Like you've said earlier, that can two work together except they agree. So it,
exactly.
it comes to the issue of sex too. So you have to be mutually agreed. Once there is no agreement, that becomes rape.
Hmm.
That becomes rape. So you
Hmm.
must be,
So,
if you must have sex with anybody, or it, which
hmm,
is not, you just have to, like, you have to bring the person to the agreement. If the person really agrees, so you can go ahead with that. But without any mutual agreement, then it is a rape. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. So when there is no mutual agreement, it becomes rape. I pick that. Yeah. When there is no mutual agreement, it becomes rape. That's the point.
That's
So
it.
that's the whole thing. Now, you're a lady, and how do you feel? Okay, okay before I ask this question, let me give us a little background on the reason why I'm asking this kind of question now. Now,
Okay.
in recent time, we've noticed something. Some people have been calling out some male individuals that's on the issue of rape. That they said they've been assaulted by these individuals, and these individuals came out and made it clear. that they've not assaulted anyone, and if there is be any proof, they should come out with proofs and the like. So it almost look like they are being blackmailed. So how do you think? How do you feel? How do you feel when you hear issues like this?
One, I feel embarrassed because you've not gathered enough evidences. You are coming out to say he raped you. No, even like what I wrote on my blog, even guys are raped, even male folks are raped. Just because
Yeah.
we are fragile, that's why. And we have most of activists coming around saying rape, saying no to rape, and they want to hear our voice. That's why the society is giving us much attention. So you don't just come out and open your mouth to blackmail anybody. Don't just speak wrong of anybody. When the person has not done that, then why are you lying? That means you're a liar. So I feel so
Mhm.
bad anytime I hear
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
cases.
That's true. That's true. Most times, when people come out with these kind of things, you would just begin to ask yourself, do people really understand the concept of the word? Do you know this the efficacy of this word? It is a big word. Because it affects people so much. It affects emotionally to the extent that some people even lose their life in the process of fighting the emotions it brings. I hope you understand.
I even heard of a boy that committed suicide just because
Yeah,
he was accused of rape. So he
exactly.
killed himself. He committed suicide. So why are you taking someone else's life, when the person is not guilty of it? So it is
Yeah.
not good. It is not
It's so
good at all.
it's so dehumanizing. We understand it's so dehumanizing, and it is also at the peak of taking people's life. You know. But now, what do you think could be done? Now, for example, when we're talking about children sex education, because also notice that now, okay, before I go this way, I want every one of our viewers to understand one thing, that there are some people you don't there are some people you don't have sexual relationship with, no matter what's the word, no matter how much you feel you really need it, or no matter how much you feel about it. Yeah, that's the best way I can put it. There are some people you don't sexually go close to at all. It is wrong. There's a quote I do say most times, those that are close to me would have seen it and hear me say it. I said the world would be a better place if there are less pedophiles, or there are no pedophiles at all. Because pedophilia is a disease that is destroying our one of our environment, is destroying the whole thing that makes this world beautiful. Let me explain. When we are talking about pedophilia or pedophiles, those that molest children, what they do is like a farmer that is planting seeds. You molest a child, you've planted a seed in that particular child. I don't know what might happen to you afterwards, but what happens to that child really matters, because that particular seed you've planted in that child will be carried, and that child will carry that seed into adulthood. The odds, the vacuum will be carried into adulthood. Most times, some people talk about, now let's go a little bit, let's talk a little bit more matured. Now, some people go talked about, they complain in marriages about, their partner not being able to satisfy them enough. Some people talk about, having high sexual libidos, and all these kind of things can be traced back to being early exposed, not on voluntary cases. Now, this is by on voluntary cases, whereby being exposed early to this sexual environment, and it is very, very wrong. It is wrong for anybody to do such to any child, either, especially when it is your child, because we know we've had cases about fathers, molesting that children, the daughters, and the like.
Sure,
We've even
sure.
heard about spiritual leaders, um, uh, I don't want to mention kind of spiritual leaders, but we've heard about spiritual leaders, molesting those who trusted them for spiritual coverages. And this is wrong. If you play a fatherly figure in the life of anybody, you play the figure of an adult. Your role is to encourage, your role is to direct, your role is to instruct, your role is not to destroy. So anybody who destroys as an adult, I'm saying this now virtually now because it is a message that needs to be passed on. It hurts me. This is one thing that really hurts me so much. Anyone that molests children, it is too wrong. If you've done that to any child before and the child is an adult now, I think it is time you seek that child's forgiveness. But if the child is not an adult, please let the child be. Let the child just be. But whoever you've done that to before, you've done it before, you've engaged in that kind of it is forgivable, but you've planted a seed already because it's just like a farmer. When you plant that seed in that particular child, the seed begins to grow. That vacuum is laid in that child. The child will begin to desire something like that, or would even grow up to become the kind of position you played in their life, which is the child molester. The child might grow up and become a pedophile himself or herself because there is something that has been planted in the orientation of that child. The child begin to see himself, see herself as an object of sex and would play that role on other people. It is wrong. It is wrong. So personally, I feel we should anybody that is in that kind of attitude should really, really detest from it. And when you find other people in that kind of position, I think what you really need to do is help them seek counseling. Help them seek counseling because without counseling, a lot of things will go wrong. I think we lost Emerald, but she's going to be back soon. And so every one of us, we need to play our role. Protect a child. You that are watching me right now, find strategies on ways to protect a child, not just a girl child, because most male children that grow up to become rapists, if you check it, most times it's in their criminal record, the genealogical record tells that most of them are victims of the same circumstance they play out on other people. So most times they've been victim of this same thing that plays out on other people. That's why. So when you molest a one male child, that male child grows up and molests other female. When you molest a female child, she grows up, see herself as an object of sex, and either molest other male children or stay out and use her body, and like they say, to get what she wants. And it is very, very wrong. Um, okay, so we have a question here in the comment section. Yeah, from Lawrence Adeniro. The question says, how do you visualize the perfect woman and what are the attributes? Okay, we are going to come back to that question very soon. How do you visualize a perfect woman and what are attributes? But okay, let me just treat the question a little. Then I will allow Emerald to speak on that question. First and foremost, you see, perfection is 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 not the I personally, okay, let me leave it to Emerald because I don't want to say some things out of the box. But when you begin to look for a perfect woman, then I think you're not doing it right because you can't really have somebody perfect in everything. When you're talking about perfect, I don't know your definition of perfect, but you have somebody who so I cannot tell what your definition of perfect is, but I don't think you can have anybody who is perfectly on every side. But you can have a godly woman, you can have a woman of virtue because her attributes are in the way she behaves, treat others and treat ourselves, treat our family. I'm not talking about our marriage family now. I'm talking about our own individual family. The way she treats herself, the way she carry herself, it really, really matters. It tells a lot about the individual. So, how do you visualize a perfect woman? I am going to debug the word perfect woman. There is nothing like a perfect woman. I don't know what a word of perfection, what you mean by perfection mean. You can also send us in on that question to back up this question about perfect. But I don't know what you really mean by perfect. But to me, I will tell you there is nothing like a perfect woman. There is only a woman of godly virtue, a woman that knows how to treat herself, is not selfish for herself. She does not treat herself alone. She treats everyone around her well. And that is one attribute every one of us must have. Every one of us must be able to learn how to embrace ourselves, learn to love yourself. Then, when understand yourself, you love yourself so well, you can treat yourself so well, then you'll be able to treat other people so well also. It is important. It is important that we learn to treat other people well also. It is only in this kind of way that we can begin to see better, a clearer picture of ourselves and a clearer picture of who other people can be. In fact, it will help us to forgive so easily because you begin to realize that everybody cannot be perfect, but everybody is working towards making a betterment of themselves. I don't know if that in English really exists, but everyone is working towards becoming a better version of themselves. And you, as a male, you must work towards that also. You must work towards becoming a better version of yourself. You're not a father yet. Work towards a better self of yourself when you become a father. Begin to envision how you can be a better father. Things that must be put in place in your family. How you must treat a woman. You know, it starts from the way, as a male, now I'm going to talk from a male angle. It starts from the way you treat the regular lady around you, the one that you're not even dating at all, the one you're not having any connection with. How do you treat her? How do you treat the waiter that came to serve you? How do you treat the people that work around you? How do you treat your fellow staff? How do you treat your colleagues? How do you treat your acquaintances, your family, your friends? You know, you have sibling, you have a female sibling. You've not learned how to protect her. You've not learned how to defend her rights. You've not learned how to make her be a better person of herself. You humanize her vocally, you molest with your word, you molest with your action, and you are looking forward to having a perfect woman or a better woman. No, you yourself must become a better place, you better person. You must put yourself in the place of a better person. You must learn how to treat other people well, respect people. It is because of two things is lacking in the world today that is causing a lot of havoc in our world today: respect and love. The chaos that is going around the world now, from the United States to many other places around the world, is just because of respect. Respect people, not because of their skin color, not because of their culture, not because of their tribe or their country or wherever they came from, but learn to respect people genuinely. Learn to respect people genuinely. When you cannot respect people genuinely, then don't expect that people will be able to respect you. Learn to love people. You see, you become a better person when you learn to love people, because you will begin to see from their shoes, you begin to see their pain. You will realize that everybody has errors, everybody has mistakes in themselves. We make one or two mistakes once in a while, and that is one thing every one of us must to treat. We make one or two mistakes every once in a while. You are not just all of a sudden Angel Michael. You're not just all of a sudden this Mary and the likes. But we all graduate gradually. The kind of person you are today that people can relate with you right now is because of over time you are adding to yourself and you are removing from yourself, adding the positive, removing the negative. That is the best way you can become a better person. And when you begin to live in this kind of way, when you begin to live in this manner, you attract the people like you towards you. You see, many at times now, many at times, some people's, do you know the reason why some people's relationship is not working? Their relationship is not working just because they cannot, and I repeat, because they cannot treat themselves well and learn to respect other people. It is important. You must learn to respect other people. If you don't respect other people, it is going to cause a lot of havoc. It's going to cause a lot of havoc. There is a movement now. There's a movement among guys. The movement of the song. There's a song that is popular now, and there's a movement. The movement of the Malians. Shout out to all the Malians out there. I'm not against anybody, but there's a kind of idealism that goes along with being that particular tag of name that I don't much agree with. It's tend to take the kind of human person who you are. It tends to shift your focus from the kind of person you can become. Because when you don't, when you shift yourself from your vision, then you are far from your achieving much in life. You are far from achieving the things that would actually change your life around. One of those things is, they talk about manias. Many people have talked about manias though are graduates. No, it's not even just that. The issue of not using belts and all those kind of things. It's if you begin to paint the kind of picture of the things they say, you begin to realize that most of these things, it will only end anyone in calamity. It will end someone in a place where you do not really expect. So for you to love a woman, I'm still on the Lance's question. For you to love a woman, a woman, and I'm removing the word perfect there because you must love people in spite of their imperfections. Don't wait for somebody to be perfect until when you begin to love the person. Don't wait for the person to be overall, cynical, overall a paragon of love and the likes before you can love them. No, you yourself, out of their own imperfection, begin to love them, begin to see a better person of them. And when you treat people that way, a better person of them will begin to show towards you. And that's what you attract. You attract people that are positive like you. So a positive mindset attracts positive people around. And that's the major thing. So let me see. I'm waiting on Emerald. I really need to have her back online. I really need to have her back online. Okay. Can we have one or two people call in? Probably you have questions. We have many other questions here, but I want Emerald to treat them. Can we have one or two persons call into the studio? I'm going to be dropping the link now so you can come on and join us live in the studio. Um, I anticipate to see one or two people. I think one or two people said they would love to join. Yeah. So this is the link. You can check it out. Use that link to join us live in the studio. Live in the studio. Live in the studio. Ah, now we have one or two questions here. Let me see. We'll ask the questions here. We'll ask the question here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to bring on Emerald back online. Emerald, Emerald. So you can join us live in the studio. Follow the link. Come on, join us. Come, follow the link. Check on the Facebook page. Follow the link. Then it will lead you right into the studio. Okay. Yeah. So some let me treat on that important issue here. Now, what can be done in educating children on their sexuality? Now, I personally believe one thing. If the child is not your child and it's you are not being put in the position of training that child or giving that child specific knowledge on sexuality, it is not your responsibility to train anybody's child on their sexuality. It's not your responsibility to give anybody's child a education on their sexuality. Although you can tell a child, you can correct a child, you can instruct a child once in a while. But it is the best person, the best place for any child education on sexuality is the parents, the father, the mother. In fact, it is best advised that the gender has been split according to the parents, and this subject matter of discussion is being shared to that child. And many times people ask this question: at what age? At what age? At what age? I tell you, my brother and sister, at the age of 5, most children already know right from left. So you begin to educate a child from that particular age. You begin to tell them, okay, these are your sense organs. These are things. You don't let people come around this place. You don't do this. You don't do this to yourself. But you do this to yourself. You do this to yourself. This is the way you can keep a proper hygiene. This is the things you must understand. And over time, they would get it. Over time, they would get it. So, um, hey, hey,
Eh?
Emerald, can you hear me? Are you there?
Yeah, I
Emerald.
can hear you.
So
Hello?
we've missed you online. You've gone
I'm
offline for
sorry, it was my network.
yeah, I
It was my
understand.
network. So I have
Understand.
to look for a better place.
Okay. So there was a question I also tried to treat myself, but I really wanted to treat it this time. It is a question from Lawrence Adeniro, and it says, "How do you visualize the perfect woman, and what are her attributes?" Thanks. Emerald, can you hear us?
Hello, Joshua.
Yes, can you hear us?
Joshua, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you now.
So please help us treat this question from Lawrence Adeniro.
Okay.
Okay. How do you visualize
Okay.
what are attributes?
Okay. There's no perfect human. Nobody is perfect.
Thank
There is
you.
no perfect human. Everybody has their flaws. So I'm not sure anybody that is perfect exists. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
So you can ask how do you get a wife material for yourself? You cannot ask how do you get a perfect human. Nobody is perfect.
Okay. So, what are the attributes a young man should be looking for in a woman that he plans to marry? I think that's the best way to answer his question. What are the attributes a man should be looking for in a
Okay.
woman? Then I think I will answer for
One.
the. Oh, look, should you just answer from the female to the male? What are the attributes as you as a lady tend to look for in a guy?
Okay. One. God fearing. That's number one. Like
Okay.
what I
Okay.
said, God is the center of everything. And God is is the author of marriage. So when God is not there, nothing is working out. One, God
Mhm.
fearing man.
Yeah.
After God fearing man, responsibility. That's important. If a man is not responsible, he will not know his responsibilities. He will not know when he
Yeah.
should go out and work. He'll be
Mhm.
sitting at home expecting you to do everything. And
Yeah, yeah,
three, a
that's
man
true.
must be disciplined. He must be disciplined. Because if a man is not disciplined enough, that's when a colleague of his in his office will be seducing him around and he will not be able to say no.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
that, that that's when your house will be, you'll be wearing bomb short and she is a rose sexually. No,
Oh,
no, no. A man must be disciplined, must be responsible and God fearing. That's the center of everything.
now,
Those are the attributes I look out for, and that's what ladies should look out for in a man.
okay. So if you ask me that same question now, personally,
Okay,
from a guy now, the kind of a woman I'm looking for
okay.
is, I think one of the most important thing I really look for in a woman is a personality that can be relatable with. You know, she must have a kind of personality that people can relate with, not a kind of personality that when you meet with.
Personalities like,
No, no, I'm going to explain. Not the kind of personality that when
okay,
she meets with your family, she's
okay,
reserved. She treats them one way, and meet with friends. You introduce her with friends. She cannot relate. So I for a person love a kind of person that can easily relate and is relatable with. So because why is that
okay,
important to me? Because when we begin to have children, I like a kind of person that the children can confide in. They can go up to, okay, mommy, this is what is going in my personal life. I want you to know about it. I want to talk to you
like a
about
free
it.
person,
Yeah.
someone
So
your kids will be free with.
yeah, so the children can be able to discuss personal issues with, and because um that kind of personality helps to groom the right kind of knowledge in children, and it grooms their confidence also. Because when the children cannot trust to walk up to you at any time to share what is going on in their personal life, then a lot of things goes wrong in their personal life. I hope you understand. Then the other thing I also look out
Yeah.
for as a person is God fearing. I think for a male and a female we cannot do without that. So I a person who is a lover of God, because at the end of everything, when we've all is being said and done, it is still God we run to. It is still God that would
Sure,
really, really
sure, sure,
matter
sure.
above every other thing that we might think matters. God still, at the end of everything, really, really do matter. And I am looking forward to someone who is an um an active in the aspect of giving away or giving back. So I'm not looking forward to someone that is not ready to go into NGOs that help human life. But I'm looking forward to somebody who is involved, who is actively involved in a changing world and trying to implement change. And definitely, we cannot put the place of the mental state. Someone who is intellectually high. That's majorly my. I don't know. Many other people would have a lot of things to say,
Those are your
but
specs, right?
yeah,
Those are
many
those
people
are the people you are looking for.
many people will have a lot of things to say, but that's me. So there's a question here. It says, "Is sex personal?"
Yeah, sex is personal. It is.
So how personal is sex, and how do you treat with people who are the so-called kiss and tell?
Um, like what I will say, not everybody is matured. And
Mm,
in case you have someone that is not matured like that, you just have to treat with them with maturity. You have to deal with them yourself with maturity because it is only maturity you can handle this. So it is personal. Yeah, sex is personal, but you are going around speaking with people, blah blah blah. This is what I've done, and all sort of that. The
yeah,
only thing you can do as a person, if you are the victim and if you are in that person's shoe, is to be patient. One, you talk to the person like, this is what you are doing and I don't like it. This is against the person you are. What is
mm,
important is you deal with the person with maturity. So
yeah,
if you can handle the issue with maturity, you'll be able to get to the root of the matter and you can render help to the person because the
mm,
person really needs help.
yeah,
They really need help.
yeah. That's true. So yeah, and I think I want to add this to what you say. Sex is personal, but sexual satisfaction must be mutual. So
Sure, sure.
it's not a one-sided thing. You don't get selfish about it. You don't try to treat your partner. This is what I enjoy. This is what I do. Either you're covenant, either you're not covenant. And I also want to make this known. Do you know even in marriages it's possible to be although it is forgivable as if it does not involve violence. Even in marriages, it is possible to step the bounds of sexual guidelines that is rape, because there are times that your partner is not interested, but you are trying to force a partner into it, and it is not good or healthy for anybody's relationship. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think I enjoyed the moment when it said when there is no mutual agreement, it becomes rape. Yeah, that's one keyword there. That's one keyword there. So Amrad,
Yeah.
yeah. So what do you have to say to people who had been who had sexual molestation or experienced it once in a while? What are the agencies do you think that can help them? Or one or two things you can say to them? Like, okay, for example, before you come in, I can remember in Ekiti where we met, or where we do meet mostly in Ekiti. We have the wife of of the governor, Irelu Fayemi. She's much of an activist on this on this matter, subject matter, and her works are known around the world. Because I think she's the director of Aqua Mama, something like that. Aqua Mama, something like that in Africa, and she is fully involved. I also know of many other people, but what are the things you recommend? What are the first steps when you notice that you fall victim of this subject matter, and what are the things you can do to go around it?
Okay. One, are you asking about the agencies or the steps you can take?
Yeah,
Let me
I'm
get
talking
that
about.
clear.
I'm asking about the steps you can take now. Then you can go on to talk about the agencies and the people involved.
Okay. One of the steps you have to take is speak out. Just have to speak out to someone who can help. It might be your parents. From there, you go to the nearest police station. So you get the perpetrator arrested. So when you get the perpetrator arrested, and when they are taking the case to court, this is most common to ladies. They be like, "Me, your fair schedule, you're bad." Don't take that as I'm wrong. If they want to charge it to court, let them take it to court. He's a perpetrator and he needs to be dealt with. The agencies that can help. My Beautiful Mind is there. I'm one of the content creator. The Beautiful Mind can help you. Lawansi Adeniran Foundation is there to help you. AY Goes to School is there to help you, and host of others. You can browse that online. But I'm talking about the one that I can vouch for, the one that I know if you get to them at any time, they will listen to you. My Beautiful
Yeah,
Mind, Lawansi Adeniran Foundation will help you to get to the root of the matter. And AY Goes to School is there to help you. Thank you
yeah.
very
So
much, Joshua.
yeah, yeah. So you've also heard about the rape victims and the like. So when a person notices that she or he, especially I'm talking about the female, especially now, because
Okay.
I think most times the community tend to treat females most times. So let us just talk a little bit about them, then we go to the male. When the female notice that she is a
Please can
victim of, okay, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, when a female notice that she's a victim of rape, what are the steps
Okay.
or any kind of assault that dehumanizes her? What are the steps she must go about?
I've mentioned that earlier. Like as a female, when you are molested and you are a victim of rape, the first thing you need to do is you can speak with to someone you can confine in, someone that can help you. If your parents are not there, if your siblings are not there, why not get a counselor? When you speak to a counselor, they will help you and they will get to the root of the matter. Next thing is go and report. You cannot take the law into your hands. Go and report in the station, the police station. from there you do the right thing and they charge the
Mm,
person to court.
mm. Yeah, thank you very much. So let me speak for the male, or we do like to say one or two things on the male side when the male is being molested.
Um, though it's very rare for a male to be molested. It is very
It
rare. Though
happens.
we have it, but it happens, but it is very, very rare.
Yeah,
Because one, they are strong. They are not fragile like we ladies. And when a male child is molested, those are the necessary steps should be the person should take. Like the steps I've listed earlier. One, look for someone to confide in. Then the person helps you to take it to the police station
yeah.
and the deal is done.
Okay. So, any moment from now, we've been having our people calling in and coming on to join us. So, I hope it is okay by you. They'll be asking one or two questions, and we should be able to treat it and help them with it. Is that okay
Okay.
by you?
That's yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So, um, now what about the case of people who complain about not having being satisfied enough in their relationship sexually mostly? You know, some complain of high, some complain of low, and some people talk about having high sex libidos. What do you have to
Libido.
say about that?
Yeah, we have people that have high libidos. We have people that have low libidos. The high libidos are the ones that enjoy sex always. They are eager
Okay.
and they want more of sex. But the low libidos, they don't really have the vibes. Let me just use that word. They don't really enjoy it. It
Yeah.
happens, but if you have a high libido, that's not good. That's not good for your partner because most times, when she's back from office and she wants to rest, next thing is oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. That's not good for the partner. And when you are having the low libido too, that's not good because most times the opposite sex is ready to have something with you and you are complaining. That can spoil your that can break your marriage. Let me just say that can break your marriage and um
Mm,
that would be another story entirely. But if you're
that's
having
true.
a high libido or a low libido, there's some drugs you can take that can help you to normalize it. And
Mm,
two, you have to be considerate too. It's another thing to take drugs, it's another thing to be considerate. So put
okay.
your partner into consideration.
Okay. Okay. So you have to be considerate also for the both side, either the male or the
Yeah,
female. Yeah. Thank you
sure.
very much. Thank you very much. Do you have one or two things you really want to say?
Um Not really for now.
I
Let's
just saw,
receive the calls and
I just saw a question now. It says, "What are the things I must know about sex before I marry?"
okay. What are the things you must know about sex before you marry? One of the most things you have to know about sex is you check your views, you ask. That's why you must ask questions. There's no how you can know it. Because most people don't engage in premarital sex, and that's bad. If you don't engage in premarital sex, the best thing you have to do is ask questions. Ask questions. One, ask about the person believes
Hello.
in masturbation. If you don't do that,
Okay.
hello,
Yeah,
please
I'm
can you
trying
hear
to see.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. We almost lost you.
Okay, okay. Ask his or her views on masturbation. Talk about family planning. Talk about circumcision. Ask about sexual experiences. If the person, has had any sexual history, ask. Discuss homosexuality. There's some people that are lesbians. There are some people that are gay. They are gays. If you don't discuss it now, when you get to marry, that will be a problem. You check the person. This is very important to check the person genotype, resource factor, and blood group, sex
Okay.
preferences. You know the person's styles. If the person
Mm,
loves anal sex, you check it out. And you ask
okay.
about the libido and orgasm. That's very important. Like the
So
libido we discussed earlier, if the person is having a low libido and you're having a high libido and you don't take drugs, and he is not considerate, that might ruin your marriage. So that's very important to ask the person.
Mm,
And you have to sit down and discuss with the person. He or she is afraid of sex. We have some people that they don't love sex.
yeah,
Ask
yeah,
to
that's
if
true.
there will be timetable for sex. Ask to if there will be timetable for sex. There are some people that it's
Do you
once
really
in a
think that is
month. There are
necessary?
some people.
Do you really think that is necessary?
Yeah,
Now,
you ask. That's very
now,
that's very important. There's some people that
personally,
they want sex once in a month. Once
now,
in a month, that's when they need sex.
personally, I
So you
think
just have to ask the necessary.
when we're talking, I want a little bit clarification on that. Now, when we are talking about
Okay,
planned, are we talking about planned sex or because when we're talking about this kind of issue, it's more like, oh, you have to say, okay, on Saturday next week or so you put a date to it, and I don't feel it's cool that way. What do you think about
it is
that?
not. It is no. It depends. It might be and it might not. There's some people that have low libido, you know that, and they don't really love sex. So willingly, when they can give it out, is once in a week. So it will not become rape. There's some people that have a high libido and they are trying to overcome it. They are trying to suppress the libido. And the maybe on medication, it's once in a week. Maybe before he or she met you, it's once in a week that is taking that into consideration. And you are here, you are new, and you cannot ask necessary questions. That will ruin your marriage. It will eventually ruin your marriage. So you ask
Mm,
about the sex timetable. Like there are some
mm.
families that it is every Monday they have it. So what if that's the orientation she has been bringing from her family house? How will you help that? So it is necessary to ask questions. These are the important questions you need to ask.
Okay, okay. So let us see if we are going to be having a caller soon. Anybody that is trying to come on live. Um, okay. Let me see. Do we have anybody that is coming to join us live? You can follow the link below. There's a link on the comment section that brings you into the studio straight. So we are interested in having one or two people come up and discuss with us, share with us one or two things, or ask one or two questions. And you can also drop your questions in the comment section. It is very important. It is very very important, you know. And that is one thing. So Emrad,
Yeah.
can you tell us more about your own personal projects? Maybe the books or stuff like that you've actually put out that people can actually use to get to you. And what are the materials people can use to get to you?
Okay, my social media handles: Facebook, I'm Oyemi Damilola. My Twitter, account is Oyemi Damilola. And my Instagram account is Oyemi Damilola. I'm working on a book. I'm writing a book presently, and that's Get Hold of Your New CV. Get hold of your new CV. So when the book is
Okay.
out, please, 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 please endeavor to get one and buy it. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
So I have not seen the anybody yet in the studio yet, but I'm expecting one or two people to come up online and join us in the studio or ask their questions. You've raised some very very important topics there, and I know some one of two people who want to say one thing or the other. So if you are interested in saying one or two things, you can come up to the studio. And there's another way. If you don't want to make your identity known, let me tell you now, if you don't want to make your identity known, you can come into the studio and send a private message, and nobody would see it except us. And you can trust we would not make your identity known. So nobody will see that one except us. Just come into the studio, click on the link, come into the studio, and share with us one or two things. You know how the sexuality of a teen has affected our community, affected our environment. Um, we cannot tell a lie about it, but the truth be said, it is really really affecting every one of us. And the reason why we must understand properly our role, how we go about it, how we must play about it, is because of the more people know about themselves, the more they understand these things, the better it is for every one of us. Am I right? Okay, I think you're offline. Okay, am you're back. Am I
Yeah,
right?
I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I am back.
Okay, yeah. Nobody is calling in for now. No more comments for now.
Okay.
All right. So, Amrad, do you think we can do this again, or we just keep it here for now? What do you think? Should
We
we?
can do it again. We
Yeah,
can. Let's keep doing this.
okay.
Let's
Okay.
keep doing this. Let's be a
Okay.
voice to people out there.
Everybody, Emrad said we can do this again. Let us know in the comment section how often do you want us to do this? How often do you think we can do this? And we should come up about it. Then I think if you want us to do this again, the questions should come in to our personal messages, personal mail. You can send a personal this thing to me. Yeah, I can see my friend here from Brazil. Hola, hola, Senor Guimar. I'm sorry, I have to speak a little bit Brazilian. Yeah, I'll speak a little bit Portuguese. Oh, I can see you. Yeah, that's my friend from Brazil. His name is I can't mention that. That's Aprecido Gilmar.
Aparecido.
No,
Kima.
Aprecido Gilmar. Yeah, Aprecido Gilmar. And yeah, I call him Senor Gilmar. Amigo. That's my friend. My amigo. So nice meeting you and every one of us. So we're going to be wrapping it up here. We're going to be calling it a day. Now we hope we can do this again. Yeah. So I am Joshua Eitayo Matiluko. Like I said before, the number one person that has the confidence to speak about this kind of issue everybody is trying to run away from. They don't want to talk about it, but we have to talk about it because the better we talk about it, the more it is for every one of us, and the better our economy and community becomes. Then I have with me the one and only the one with distinction in relationship matter. She is the emerald.
Hmm.
They call her Oyeyemi Damilola. Yeah, look at her. Well, actually, that's the name she was given by birth. So she's called Oyeyemi Damilola, but I don't know how she came about Emerald. All the same, I know that Emerald is a good one. Yeah, obrigado, Gima. Obrigado, Senor Gima. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, all right. So we're going to be doing this again. We're going to let us know how often we'll do this and um they updated by it. So till we see again, this is a shout out message to me, to every one of us that came online. Thank you very much. I really appreciate every one of us. I remain the number one host that is ready to talk about this kind of issue with every one of us, even though there are some other people that will be willing to take after me. And please do. Because when we talk about our sexuality, we understand our sexuality, we understand that sex is a mutual agreement between two individuals that the more the absence of that mutual agreement makes it becomes rape no matter what it is. Even though you are legally married to this person, it becomes rape. And yeah, we've not talked about the molestation that happens in relationship, because I know you're a relationship expert. You deal a lot with relationship, but we've not talked about the challenges that comes in relationship, like when a one of the spouse is suffering from verbal abuse, verbal molestation. This does not even have to do with the physical molestation or battering and the likes, but there's a way a person can go about.
Emotionally.
Yeah, there's a way a person can go about not battering you, not beating you up physically, but the words the person say to you actually dehumanizes you totally. And on that aspect, we know that it affects both male and the female. It does not just affect the male alone. You can't say this. Okay, this is to the female alone. In fact, most times we see that most female, they are very good in using their tongue. They are very good in using their lips. He said all Afro Brazilians have a little bit of Nigerian at heart. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Thank you very much. Yeah, gracias. That's Spanish. I use a lot of Spanish. So we understand that relationship happen that way. A lot of relationship, a lot of people are in silence in relationship because they suffer this kind of thing, and there's nobody to share about it. There's nobody to speak to about this kind of things. So it is an opportunity for us. Thank you very much. You can check me out on at Comrade MJ. That could be tough. Uh, okay, let me put our handle up here for every one of us. I am popularly called Joshua Matiluko. That's the name they gave me. My father called me Matiluko, and they called me Joshua. It's not like I had a choice over the name, but I tend to love the name now. That's why I tend to call myself very much. If we can have a little bit discussion, and I might call my name 5 times, Joshua Eitayo Matiluko. It's something about me. Then that's on the other side, yeah, big kata with a beautiful sheets and the like. That's Oyeyemi Damilola. That's the name my father gave her also. So she has no choice about that once. She chose Emerald, I chose Josh. Anyway, let it work. So you can check us out on our personal handle. Thank you very much. God bless you. Till we meet again, and I'm
Thank you
using
very
this opportunity.
much. It's a night time with you. Thank you very much. I
Yeah,
really enjoyed myself. Thank you. And for those of you that wants to ask one or two questions, please, Joshua will display our handles so you get to reach us there. Thank you very much.
yeah. So do you have an Instagram handle, Daminola?
Yeah. Oyemi Damilola.
Okay, it's Oyeyemi Daminola Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just write that. Oyeyemi. Okay, okay. So we sign out from here. You can see us on Facebook. You can see us on Instagram. Thank you very much. God bless you. Take care, Dami. Au revoir. Thank you. All right, thank you, every one of us. It has been a wonderful time. I enjoyed the time with Dami. We, like she said, we can do this again, and I hope we do this again. I really hope we do this again. Yeah, Dami, you've been asked to come up online. Yeah, her name is Damilola. Damilola. Oyeyemi Damilola. So you can call her Emerald for short. Emerald for short. Thank you very much. Over. Thank you.